So the question I'm answering now is, what is the cognitive behavioral model of mental health difficulties? Well, the cognitive behavioral model proposes that our thoughts, our feelings, and behaviors are all interlinked. So what we think affects how we behave and how we feel. How we feel affects how we behave and what we think about, and how we behave affects what we think about and how we feel. Now, when we talk about the cognitive behavioral model of mental health difficulties, what it means is that we explain mental health difficulties, particularly the maintaining factors of mental health difficulties, in respect to the CBT model. So let's take depression for an example. The CBT model will suggest that depression is maintained by the interrelationships between our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. So, if someone with depression is caught up with negative automatic thoughts such as "I'm useless," "I'm no good," "I'm a slob," for example, then this can have an impact on their behavior and the way they feel, which in turn could actually be maintaining the depression. So let me give you an example. So if I'm being completely bombarded with thoughts of low self-worth, I'm a loser, I'm no good, and now this will obviously affect my feelings. I might be feeling really low and really sad, so depression. And this can also affect my behavior. Because I feel I'm a loser and I'm no good, I might decide not to go out when friends invite me. There's no point going out. I'm a loser. I might decide to stay in bed all day because I'm having these thoughts. These self-critical thoughts are starting to really get to me. And, I might believe some of the thoughts. And as a result, that might change what I do. I might spend most of my time in bed all day. I might not, wash. My personal hygiene might go down, and I might isolate myself, avoid going out. So typically, this thought process of this low self worth has activated behaviors and emotions that are going to be maintaining the depression. If I isolate myself, that's only going to reinforce the thoughts that I'm a loser, I'm no good, because I'm going to be spending all my time alone, and that's only going to reinforce those thoughts. If I am not going out, or if I'm not taking a shower and not looking after my personal hygiene, that's only going to reinforce the low self worth. So it's going to be a vicious cycle. So when we talk about the CBT model of mental health difficulties, it would explain mental health difficulties in relation to the CBT model. When we have mental health difficulties, all mental health difficulties are accompanied with some sort of thinking process that goes on. There is some sort of thinking process that goes on. And all mental health difficulties are accompanied with some sort of feeling process that goes on. And so what we think can affect how we feel. And all mental health difficulties are accompanied by some sort of behavior process. Now, what the CBT model suggests is that if we can just change the way we think about things and the way we behave, then we can change how we feel. Of course, we cannot change the way we feel directly. Our feeling is a feeling, but we can change the way we feel by changing how we think. So we can change how we think about things, and we can also change our behavior. And when we change the way we think, it will also change our behavior. And if we change the way we behave, as well as changing how we feel, it will also change the way we think. So it will be a positive cycle to get us out of it. So the CBT model of mental health difficulties is mainly a model of the maintenance of mental health difficulties. The CBT model is very in the here and now. There are CBT formulations that do take into account the past. So you might have a CBT maintenance cycle, and you might have the core belief. It might start off with a core belief that before the core belief you might have past experiences that may have contributed to a core belief. So the core belief may be that I'm defective, there's something wrong with me. Then we might have intermediate beliefs or rules for living because of this belief that I have that there's something wrong with me. And I'm defective. I might avoid going to situations where I feel I might embarrass myself. So I might avoid going to parties. I might avoid going to social situations. I might avoid taking opportunities because I think there's something wrong with me and I'm not going to be able to do it. So I might avoid, for example, going on the a uni course that I really want to do because I feel, well, there's something wrong with me and it's just a waste of my time. So I won't take those opportunities. So that's rules for living. And then from this comes the negative automatic thoughts. If there's something wrong with me, I might think I'm useless, I'm no good. The negative automatic thoughts are the thoughts that come automatically in the different situations. They're the superficial level thoughts that come, that are, that fire off, and they can be triggered by being in certain situations that come in the here and now, such as I'm useless, good. And then these negative thoughts can then be linked into the CBT cycle. We have the thoughts, and we have the feelings, the emotion, and the behaviors, and the loop cycle continues. So the CBT model can take into account, I guess, the core beliefs. But when we talk about CBT, we're mainly looking at the relationship between our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And the main tenet of CBT is that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are linked. And they're linked in a way that if we're struggling with, say, for example, anxiety, and we want to reduce our anxiety, because thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are linked, if we change the way we think about things, and we change the way we behave. So if I'm anxious about leaving the house, going out on my own, and as a result, I always stay indoors, I can, reduce this level of anxiety by changing my behavior. Changing my behavior is I might actually put myself outside the house in situations to expose myself to this feared situation, to develop the experience that actually when I am outside of the house, nothing catastrophic is going to happen. I can cope with this. And that will reduce the feeling of anxiety through my behavior. And also that the behavior, changing my behavior and going out and exposing myself to those situations will also have an impact on the way I think, because if my initial thinking is that if I go out, I'm going to have a panic attack, say for example, or I'm going to make a fool of myself, people are going to laugh at me. If I do go out a number of times and this doesn't happen, then my belief system is going to change. Rather than thinking if I go out, I'm going to have a panic attack, people are going to people are going to laugh at me, my belief might change over time based on the experience to when I know I can do this when I'm out. When I go out, people, it's not likely that people will laugh at me, and it's unlikely that I'll have a panic attack, for example. And if I wanted to approach it through changing the thoughts point of view, if I'm thinking that I'm anxious because I'll have a panic attack when I'm going out, we can dig deeper into those thoughts. I'm anxious about having a panic attack because I'm not going to be able to escape, etc. So that's the CBT model anyway, and I'll leave it at that.